Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Today we are going to be talking about healthy eating made simple. So I'm going to be live for the next 30 minutes talking about healthy eating. If you guys have struggled with healthy eating in the past, or you're looking for some tips and tricks on healthy eating, then stay with me for the next 30 minutes where I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks. If this is the first time that you guys have seen me, my name is Ross. I'm based in the UK. I've been posting on TikTok for around 6 months now, and I've been running these lives since the start of January on the most popular fitness topics. Feel free to ask any fitness related questions in the chat as I'm running through. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. If you guys are finding this live helpful throughout it, please like the live so I know that you guys are getting feedback from the session. But for anyone just joining, today we are talking about healthy eating made simple, not perfect, not strict, just realistic. And just as a bit of an opener, most people fail healthy eating or diets not because they're lazy. They fail because they are too complicated. You don't need a meal plan to eat better. You just need a few simple habits. So over this next 30 minutes, I'm going to break this down so it actually fits into a normal life. Because the most important thing about getting fit and about actually finally getting into the shape that you want to get into, it is all based around nutrition. 80% of getting fit or getting in shape is nutrition. A lot of people have the misconception that it's all about workouts. Workouts are like 20% of the pie. 80% of it, well, not 80%, I would probably say a good 70% is nutrition. So it is a very, very big part of this. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about first is the problem. So the problem with healthy eating. And this is where I'm going to expand each point. And guys, if you have failed at healthy eating before, or you can't stay consistent with healthy eating, then these points that I'm going to raise potentially may, relate to you guys. So guys, any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to run through them as we're running through this. But what we're going to be talking about at the moment in terms of healthy eating is the problem. So one day carbs are bad, next day they're good. It's exhausting. People don't know what to trust anymore. So when it comes to carbs, everyone thinks that in order to get into shape, you need to cut carbs. That is a complete and utter lie. You don't need to cut carbs. I eat carbs all year round and I can still maintain a lean physique. It's not about the carbs. It is all based around the total number of calories that you are having each day. And if you guys don't know how to work out how many calories that you need to have each day, then you need to go online to a TDE calculator. So Katie has asked, I feel like I'm eating healthy, but I really struggle to lose weight. So my question would be to you, Katie, if you are struggling to eat or to lose weight, but you're eating healthy, do you at the moment track how many calories that you're having each day? Because although you might be eating healthy, if you are overeating on your calories, even if you're eating healthy food, you're not going to lose weight. So it's really important, alongside the healthy eating, that you are in a calorie deficit. If you are in a calorie deficit, then you'll lose weight. It's very easy to overeat, even if you are eating healthy. So it'd be good to understand if you are eating in a calorie deficit. So I'm 5'10", but I eat less than 1,900 calories a day. So realistically, when it comes to total number of calories, it's all about your activity level as well. So that's why going online to a TDE calculator is really important, because if you are, for example, doing a desk job, you are not going to be burning a lot of calories throughout the day. Obviously, you're going to walk to work, depending on if you're working remote or in the office. But generally, your movement throughout the day is pretty much sitting at the desk. So this needs to be taken into account when firstly you're identifying the calories that you need to have each day, and then actually being in a calorie deficit. So what I would recommend for you, Katie, is to go online to a calorie calculator, basically fill out your information, so have your height, weight. It'll basically talk about your activity level. And then what you need to do from there is you then need to be in a calorie deficit. So 250 to 300 calories below that maintenance level. Start tracking your foods for a few weeks, making sure you don't go above that number, which is 250 to 300 calories below. If you are still not losing weight, then that's when you need to drop the calories a little bit more. You need to make sure that you are tracking your calories each day if weight loss is one of your main goals. So I hope that's helpful. So guys, if you are just joining, we are talking about healthy eating made simple. We're firstly talking about the problem. So the problem, what people face when it comes to eating healthy. We were mentioning around the confusion. So one day carbs are bad, next day they're good. It's exhausting. People don't know what to trust anymore. I mentioned that basically in relation to carbs, I eat them all year round and still maintain a good physique. And that is because it's all based on the amount of calories that you're having each day. So the next problem that a lot of people face when it comes to healthy eating is time. So after work or after school, no one wants to cook a healthy meal. So when it comes to convenience, it always wins. So if they've got Just Eat, if they've got Uber Eats, it's very, very easy after a long day on work, or you just think to yourself, do you know what? I don't want to eat healthy. I can't be bothered to cook. I just want to eat and relax and watch Netflix or whatever. The reality is you need to think about having convenient, healthy foods. And the way that I do this is I meal prep on a Sunday, all of my foods from Monday to Friday. Because the most important thing for me is when I don't have a lot of time, do I have a healthy option ready to go on hand? I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to cook every day, mainly because I just think it's, number one, I haven't got the time to do it. And second of all, I've got other things that I need to be getting on with instead of being in the kitchen for an hour, 2 hours each day. So really, really important, meal prep, because convenience wins. And that is just the reality. Next, the big problem when it comes to healthy eating is the all or nothing mindset. So people think if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. This is so far from the truth. When it comes to healthy eating, it is all about being flexible. I understand that we all can't be eating healthy every day, because let's say we have an event or we go for a dinner or we have a concert or something along those lines. But the most important thing is you need to be flexible. And for at least 80% of the week consistently, you need to be eating healthy. And you don't have to be perfect, because this all or nothing mindset is we're not robots. We are all human beings. We have good days and we have bad days. So being perfect is not a thing, because we all have good and bad days. So guys, that is some of the main problems that people face when it comes to healthy eating. So confusion, time, the all or nothing mindset. Guys, if you are just joining, we are talking about healthy eating made simple. Guys, if you are finding the live helpful, please like the live. If you've got any fitness related questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them as we're running through. The next topic that we're going to be talking about is the 3 simple principles. So, firstly, it's all about balance. You don't need to be perfect in order to see better results from healthy eating. It is all about consistency and thinking about it as this is a lifestyle. And what do I mean by a lifestyle? This is something that's not a quick fix. This is something that you can do for the long term. You don't need to start over because you had one unhealthy meal. It's all about balance. Throughout the week, 80% of the week, you can eat healthy. 20% of the week, you can have an element of treats. That is what enables us to stay consistent long term. So guys, if you are just joining, we are talking about healthy eating made simple. At the moment, I'm going through the 3 simple principles in terms of setting yourself up for success. You need to be balanced, not perfect in terms of healthy eating. You don't need to start over because you've eaten one unhealthy meal. As the saying goes, one healthy meal won't get you into shape. One unhealthy meal won't make you fat or out of shape. So one meal also doesn't ruin your progress, just like one salad doesn't fix everything. And remember, you can still eat junk food throughout the week. So you can have a pizza and still eat healthy overall. The most important thing is balance. The great thing is, in terms of the way that I train, is I don't cut out anything that I enjoy. So if I like to have chocolate, I have chocolate, but I can't have it every day because every day is then going to affect my progress. And also as well, you want to have an element of looking forward to a treat. And that is why 80% of the week you're going to be eating healthy. And for the other 20% of it, you're going to be having some treats. So guys, any fitness related questions, please put them in the comments. If you guys are finding the live useful, please like the live so I know that you guys are getting value from the session. The next topic that we're going to be talking about in terms of the 3 simple principles is focus on whole foods most of the time. So not 100%. I'm not saying you need to do this 100% of the time. It is all about balance. So for the majority of the week, you are going to be focusing on eating whole foods. So think about foods that look like what they are. So fruit, veg, rice, eggs, and meat. There are some very basic guidelines for you to follow. You don't need to cut snacks. Just don't make them the main part of your diet. Okay? Again, you don't need to cut snacks. Just don't make them the main part of your diet. And the last simple principle is all based around make it convenient. So again, this goes back to when we get extremely busy in the week, the thing that we lean on the most is convenience. This is why Just Eat, this is why Uber Eats is booming, because we get home from work, we get home from school, and then we just think to ourselves, all we want to do is just have something simple. And at the end of the day, if it's not easy, you won't stick to it. And this is why you need to have systems in place. Systems in place, like meal prepping on a Sunday, in order to set yourself up for success throughout the week. And healthy eating isn't about willpower, it's about setup. So again, going back to those routines. So the next topic that I'm actually going to talk about is actually what I eat. So what I want to talk about here is I'm not perfect in terms of the way that I eat. This is just something that is realistic for you guys to follow. So when I wake up in the mornings, I love my bed, and the last thing that you'll see me doing is cooking eggs and all that good stuff and making oatmeal. I'm just not going to wake up early in the morning to cook a full meal. So what I do instead is I have a smoothie in the mornings. I make this the night before. So I literally have half a litre of water. I have 3 raw eggs. I'll then put in a couple of scoops of oats. So around 90 to 100 grams of oats. I'll have a scoop of protein powder, so whey protein, flax seeds, chia seeds, a teaspoon of peanut butter, of raw peanut butter, a banana, berries. I'll have my creatine in there as well. And then I'll blend that all up, put it in the fridge. I'll drink that in the mornings with a glass of orange juice on the sides. And I'll have that as literally something to start my day. That is something that is convenient, something that is quick, and again, gets me on the right path in terms of setting me up for success throughout the day. If you don't want to have a smoothie in the mornings, you can have something along the lines of some toast, eggs, yogurt, and some fruit. Again, healthy choices to get you something, to get you started and to get you set up throughout the day. So for lunch, I usually have my meal prep. So again, as I've mentioned, I do this on a Sunday. This is something usually that is easy and repeatable. I pretty much eat the same lunch from Monday to Friday. That generally is rice, chicken, and then I will generally change up the seasoning on the chicken every week and just do it in rotation. And the reason why this works so well is I don't reinvent meals every day. I'm a person that likes routine, and my routine is just going back to foods that I like, foods that are hitting my right macros in terms of my protein, fats and carbs, and something that I can do on a repeatable basis. In terms of my dinner, what I like to do here is I like to keep it simple with having a good source of protein, carbs and vegetables. Again, this doesn't need to be fancy, it just needs to be healthy. I still snack throughout the day. I just don't let snacks replace meals. So this is where what I do here in terms of my healthy eating is I'll usually have like a yogurt with blueberries and a bit of honey in throughout the day, usually sort of just after my lunch. So I have my meal prep and then I'll have the yogurt, and that generally sees me through until dinner. And the most important message that I want to highlight to you guys here is consistency beats variety when you are busy. And this is the most important thing here, is you have systems in place that are going to set you up for success. And again, you don't get into shape by accident. You don't eat healthy by accident. It is all about the planning on the Sunday, all ready to go for the week. So what I wanted to talk about here is some of the myths that I've heard when it comes to healthy eating. So firstly, I actually did touch upon this earlier on in the live, but carbs are bad. This is a complete lie. Carbs are literally your body's main source of energy. The issue isn't carbs. It's just literally overeating processed foods and eating calories that are well above basically what you should be having each day. So remember, it's not about eating carbs. It's about overeating processed foods and not tracking your calories. So the next myth is eating healthy is expensive. So it can be expensive, I'm not going to lie to you, but it doesn't have to be. So basic foods are actually really cheap. Rice, oats, eggs, frozen veg, these are foods that should be the main base of a good healthy diet. And you can use that as a structure. Again, in the UK, you can go to cheaper alternatives such as Lidl, Aldi, to get your shops as well. So healthy eating doesn't need to be expensive. The third myth is you need to meal prep everything. So At the end of the day, if you like it, great. If not, don't force it. So you can eat healthy without spending Sunday cooking for 3 hours. However, it's all dependent on, are you willing to get into the kitchen every evening and cook a healthy meal? Are you going to be that dedicated? Not on the good days. I'm talking on the days when you get extremely busy and time gets really tight. Again, it leans back onto the convenience, right? So you need to think about that. The fourth myth is you have to be strict. The stricter that you are, the more likely you are to quit. So again, it goes to the point of you need to think about this as a long-term fix. It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick result. Getting fit, getting in shape, healthy eating is all about the long term. And if you are strict on your diet, you will not be successful because you'll end up being unhappy because you are cutting out foods that you truly enjoy. Flexibility is what makes this sustainable. So guys, if you are just joining, we're talking about healthy eating made simple. If you guys have got any questions, feel free to drop your fitness related questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So guys, the next topic that I'm going to be moving into is some actionable tips that you guys can do in terms of your healthy eating. So if you only take a few things from this live, I want you to take what I'm going to be saying over the next minute or two. So first things first, I want you to add before you remove. Instead of cutting foods and really going super restrictive, just add better ones. So add fruit, veg, protein. Your diet automatically improves. Second actionable tip is build simple meals. Every meal should have protein, carbs, and something fresh. That is it. No complicated rules. Number 3, don't skip meals. Skipping meals usually leads to overeating later. So again, this is why I've said it's really important, regardless of your results or what you're looking to achieve, is you can't skip breakfast in the mornings. Having a good breakfast, lunch, and dinner is the most important thing, and it will set you up for success. If you end up skipping breakfast or lunch, you're just then going into a massive binge, and then you'll eat massively. You will overeat on your calories massively. So really, really important. Number 4, make the healthy choice easier. So put good food where you can see it. If junk food is easier, you'll just eat it, as simple as that. I've said this many a time before. If there is chocolate in my cupboards, I will eat it, regardless if it is in the week or if it is on the weekends. I don't buy chocolate in the week. I don't have it in the cupboards. I can't control myself. I've got a problem when it comes to eating chocolate. I love it too much. So the reality is I know I can't have it in the fridge. I know I can't have it in the cupboards. So in the week when I'm trying to eat healthy, it's not accessible to me. It's not convenient. The thing what is convenient for me is my meal prepper in the fridge and healthy choices, healthy snacks. So again, when I get a bit peckish, when I get a bit hungry, I've got healthy choices on hand all ready to go. So guys, any fitness related questions, please put them in the comments right now. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I just want to thank you guys very much for joining the live today and spending your Wednesday evening with me. Also, if you guys have got any other questions and you don't want to drop them in the live here, then that's absolutely fine. You can DM me afterwards. I'll be more than happy to help you. I'm going to be live the next time on Sunday. So if you guys have got any fitness related questions, anything that you want me to cover, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you. But again, thank you guys again for your time today. Have a lovely evening, and I shall see you guys soon. Thanks very much.